I guess I'm really doing this. Find the Chomix needs no introduction. Its soundtrack in-game needs no introduction. But what about the ones not in-game? While some of them will either come to the game in a later update, have been removed from the game, or just made for fun, the point still stands that they aren't in the game yet. And because of that, they don't get nearly the amount of recognition that the base game soundtracks get. Quite frankly, the base game tracks don't get much recognition, and that's what I'm here for. Before ranking the 140 plus tracks that play in game, we will start with the 45 tracks that don't. Those being Permafrost OST Remix, Jazzy Jams Old, Studs of Wonder, Search All You Want Old, Pillars of Play, Apartment Jingle, Chromatism, Alternate Mix, Out of the Dark Reverse, Jazz Rush, Down the Memory Lane, Captive, all 4 Only Great Deals versions, White Excalibur, Bite Size, The State of Serenity, White Nexus Alternate Mix, Reality Holder, Apolito Pandaemonio, Escaping Storage, Interlude, Fancy Heliotrope New and Old, Quarter Pounder, Entity and Isle 4 Clean, Twilight Saunter by the Wayside, The Dances Under the Night, Circuit Breaker, Dark Reality, Citadine Canopy, Welcome to Capital City, the part where Arnold dies in Capital City, Grace of the Overlord, Down the Conveyor Belt, Infernal Abyss, Judgment Time, Back to School Remix, Rhyme and Reason, Resonant Return, Good Game, Grassman's Mix, Finder's Funeral, and End of Everything. Oh my god. Before we rank these, I need to clear some things up. First off, this is my opinion and will not be very objective at all, so please respect my opinion. And if you want to share yours in the comments, just don't harass anyone, okay? Second, I actually don't know if some of these play in game or not. Keep in mind that I do not have every Chomic, so I have no idea if some of these do or do not play in game. Like, a lot of Shattered Reality tracks are here, but I don't have Shattered Reality Chomics, so I really had to go off research here. There will also soon be removed tracks and tracks that will play in game soon, so this will be outdated pretty quick. At the time of writing this, it is before the Backroom's final update, so I know that Hypersleep tracks will join this list once it comes out. And lastly, I will be ranking these tracks differently from the main game tracks. Because none of these play in game, I will not be looking at how they fit in the game unless they were meant for a certain area and either don't work there or got replaced. For example, I would see how Studs of Wonder would fit Universal Stud, and say whether or not I would rather that or World of Studs. I say we start with last place at 45th place. This was the one song I could not find at all. I don't know what I have to say about a song I can't even hear. I guess if anyone can find this song, please tell me in the comments. Alright, let's move on to an actual Find the Chomics track I can hear. However, when I first listened to this track, I genuinely thought it was entirely made by the listed composer, but it turns out that it was an April Fool's track that essentially took a sample from typical games' FNF mod songs. No matter how solid this track sounds, I cannot place this any higher than this because it wasn't entirely original. Normally I would get into a whole spiel about how it's okay to take inspiration but not take, however, this was clearly meant as a joke, so I won't get too worked up over it. The next song is something original that I can actually listen to. I mean, if this did play in the apartment elevator, it would fit perfectly, but it doesn't, and even if it would fit well, this is only 7 seconds long. Whether or not I prefer this or Piano Puzzle, I'd probably say this because it has more than one instrument. Still, this suffers from being way too short, but it is designed that way after all, so it's not like we're losing a slot for any longer track or something like that. I do believe this will soon come to the game, but as of right now, I have no clue where in the backrooms this will play, so I guess I can judge this based on if it sounds nice. Not really. It's probably meant to sound less like a melodic piece and more like background noise, still not too terrible. But it's more of a vibe, if you know what I mean. This would have played in YouTube Search or Chomic's room, and I don't know if you know this, but I quite like the Chomic. And honestly, if they played this track instead of the Ito Windpad music, I might have liked this Chomic a bit less. Not saying this sounds bad, but it just doesn't quite fit as well as the Ito music. Even so, Gainy even said it was bad, so yeah, it kinda makes sense why they didn't go with this. I do, however, think that a remix of sorts for the Windpad music to fit Trash better would go pretty hard and make this Chomic that I already love even better. I sort of feel bad placing this very low. Many loved Hypersleep's tracks and were devastated to see them removed from the game. For me, they hurt, but to a much less of a degree. Take for example this here track. It sounds alright and fits the area somewhat decently, but both replacements that were made sound way better than this. I do still believe that the ethereal feel this gives off is still present and makes this a better listen. I hope Hypersleep does well on the indie game. It's just Out of the Dark, a pretty solid track on its own, but reversed. The hidden message here is certainly cool, but it's not like super duper excellent. It's just a fun track that wasn't meant to be taken seriously. At least I hope it wasn't. It sounds good. Next. Oh my god, why of all songs did this one need to have so many remixes? Like yeah, Only Great Deals is pretty solid, but even when it comes to just UEOP songs, it's not nearly as good as the others. We'll get to that later. Honestly, a remix of Pixel Perfect or To Take Down a Giant would go so hard, but UEOP chose this song. Oh well. Still, this is the weakest of the 4 alternate versions, but it's not too bad. It just feels a bit empty, almost like there should be lyrics to go along with it. Oh, also, I do want to know if this song actually is in the OST or not, because it's not on UEOP's Spotify OST, but it is on this tier list, so I don't know. This track is very chill and gets a lot better as it moves along. When it starts, it gets a bit repetitive, a bit quick, but that's not too big of an issue. Then near the middle, the music stops and had a few cool elements. It's pretty cool, and I kind of wish I could listen to it in game soon. Not as much as some other tracks on the list, but still a decent amount. Oh well, I'll have to wait for a chomping 999. The song is a bit weird to me. Like, I like it, but it doesn't quite resonate with me. An ambient track that just sort of fits the backrooms. The backrooms can feel different depending on the level, and because I don't know what level this would have gone in, I don't know if this fits at all. I think it would fit some sort of abandoned factory though, if a level like that existed. All the Only Great Deals remixes are below the halfway mark. Huh. Oh well, let's start with the weak of the 3 here. The drum and bass remix is just kind of really forgettable, and a bit too repetitive for my liking. For context, I listened to all of these back to back, which made me really go crazy. The house remix sounds pretty nice until UEOP repeated it like a lot of times and added a little variation. Don't worry, I love you, UEOP. And lastly, the full version. My god, is it long. And on top of that, the only major differences were a small part in the middle and very end. Other than that, it's basically the same Only Great Deals track we all know and love, just times 2. In all, these remixes were decent, but I won't voluntarily listen to them unless they end up next to my Spotify. Even though I talked somewhat negatively about these tracks, I cannot stress enough how thankful I am that UEOP releases their tracks on Spotify. And if any other Find the Charmix composers are watching this, no matter how negative I may be to your track, I would love it if you bring them over to Spotify for easy access to it. And yeah, these tracks are pretty solid. I do slightly prefer the in-game version of this track, but I like how it feels a lot more like a gamey track, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. I do think this has very slight advantages to the original, but in the end of the day, the main track just sounds like it was truly made for the RGB realm. This one does feel that way, but to a lot less of personal to this realm. Still a pretty good track. This song, man. I think it's pretty decent, but this would not fit Heaven at all. I already think that the Heaven track is just fine and doesn't fit too well, and this is just that but a bit worse. However, a commenter brought up a very good point. What if this played in the end credits? This track honestly fits pretty well for end credits, but it probably wouldn't be the best fit, but at least it does fit. The potential this track has makes me like it a bit more. Also, the creator doesn't even like this track too much, so yeah, this sucks. JK, it's not too bad. The revamped version of Fancy Heliotrope will soon play in game thanks to the Backrooms update, which would leave the old version and Hypersleep's track doomed to the soundtrack. But that hasn't happened yet, and right now the Hypersleep track currently plays in the Purple Rooms. But if I'm being truly honest, not only do I think that 10.8.7 sounds better, but I also think it fits better for the vibe the Purple Rooms personally gives to me. But even still, these tracks are not that bad. If I were to pick one over the other, I'd say the revamp is quite a lot better, but the other version just fits better, and because of that, they balance each other out, but I do think the revamp is slightly stronger. song sounds pretty nice, but I will say that the in-game version of this track does fit the school slightly better. I know people tend to not really care about the in-game track for the school area. I mean, even the creator doesn't like it all that much. But I personally don't see it that way. I think it not only fits perfectly, but also just sounds pretty nice on top of that. It's not go out of my way to listen to this good, but it's still solid. Now, the remix, on the other hand, does fit nicely to the school area, but not as much as the original version does. And I do think that they're overall the same quality, though. So yes, the base game version is a bit better, but just by a bit. I would say this ain't too bad, and I think if this did play in game, it would fit pretty darn well. It sounds pretty nice, and that's about it. Don't have much more to say about it, just a solid track overall. I gotta say, this one does hurt a bit to not hear in game. It feels pretty cool to listen to, and it truly does make me sad that the Cyberzone will not be playing this. However, yeah, Data Dive is still better. It just feels more personal to the Cyberzone than bite-sized. Still, both tracks are good, but yeah, Data Dive is really great, while this is just really solid. This song is pretty good, but I will say that the old version is slightly better in my opinion. Oh, also, currently this version, as far as I can tell, doesn't play in game yet, but it soon will, and even still, my thoughts for both are about the same and won't change if the revamp version is added. Still though, the beginning of this song is honestly a bit better than the old version, but the end with all the repetitive notes that goes on for a while holds me back from placing this higher. Still, not too bad though. If I'm gonna be honest, this track is pretty solid and would fit in the baby jail quite well. Even though I don't glaze it like others do, it's still pretty good, so why doesn't this play in game? I don't know if I just have the right chomic or something, but this doesn't play in the baby jail for me, and it would fit greatly. Like, Only Great Deals is okay here, but not amazing. Sigh. I guess I may have to wait for a future update, or maybe I'm just really stupid. I don't know. This song, if I'm gonna be honest, made me kinda disappointed. I mean, I'm still super excited for Capital City to release, but even though this song is solid, I was hoping for something on the same level as Twilight Saunter by the Wayside. I know those are extremely high standards to place this song under, because spoiler alert, it plays very high. But this realm seems to be at least somewhat similar to Crescent Megalopolis, and this theme being a lot more chill in comparison makes me kind of wish they used the Crescent Megalopolis song as a replacement. Even still, this song is not that bad. The chill vibe is good until they throw in a build up to a pretty average beat drop. Like, none of this song sounds bad, and it would probably fit Capital City very well, but I just think that it would be better if it was a bit more intense. Oh well. Still though, this is pretty solid. This one is so sad. Well, yes, I know that Total Break Rooms was technically stolen, and yes, level 28 is really cool. This level just seemed like a good time, and a big part of that is this here track. It is so chill and nice to listen to that it's really sad how we will most likely never hear it in game again. Still though, it fit Total Break Rooms perfectly and sounded really nice. Moving on. So I'm being totally honest, this song reminds me a lot of Interlude. It has the same repeating melody that sounds nice, it doesn't play in game. Actually, that's about it. The only difference is how this is 4 minutes 20 seconds long, and in my opinion, that makes this quite a bit better because the melody has time to be built on and change instruments a bit. And if I'm being completely honest, I think this would fit just as well as Rhythmical Retreat, but this was never meant to play in game. Still a very nice song. The song might actually be better than the main version. However, I can admit that the main version fits better for this area. Still though, this song kinda slaps, and Ethereal Skies is a really good song to pair up with Permafrost, because it feels very natural. Still though, this not fitting does make it a bit worse, but it was never meant to play in here in the first place, so it's fine. Can I just say that I really like piano-focused songs in Find the Chomics? Brachistone, dark corners, impure silence, the marble areas, they just make me feel different emotions with the same instrument. And this song gets to join them because it's really good. Although with this one, I don't know where it would play, but no matter where it does play, it would still be a great song to listen to alongside the area. Just solid. This is literally just classic Gainy. It sounds just like a song that would have been made by them, the instruments and the whole vibe, and I love me a good Gainy track, and this is no different. Better than the State of Serenity songs, but they still fit better than this song. However, this just sounds really, really good, so it gets to be above a lot of the other tracks because of that. I want to make this quick. This is one of those songs that I actually really don't know if it plays in game, but even still, this would fit the distorted reality excellently. The vibe I get from this is incredible. Just an amazing track that I really hope plays in game soon. Wow, this track is just really catchy. It's literally just Entity on Aisle 4 without the distortions or scary bits, which, while in my opinion, make it have slightly less personality and general quality, I still really like the melody, and it sounds really good. If this played in the area instead of the current song, I wouldn't be too sad, still though I prefer the longer version. This isn't actually my least favorite Crescent Megalopolis track. That would be Drifting by Dusk. The reason it isn't on the list though is because it plays in the area and fishing simulator, which is connected to Find the Chomics, so it won't be ranked. Alright, let's talk about Circuit Breaker now. It's damn good. Like, wow, Techno Carter did not need to cook on this, given the fact that this probably won't be playing in game anytime soon. Yeah, it's a real shame that Crescent Megalopolis was cancelled, but I'm glad we still get the soundtracks. In particular, my favorite parts in this one are the car acceleration sound they use right before the beat drop. And while yes, the beat drop is a bit repetitive, it still sounds really cool. Songs from this point on get really great, so strap in, guys. I always can't decide whether or not I prefer this version or the one that plays in game, but currently I'm feeling that the track in game is the superior version. But I think this one is just consistently more good, and even still they both fit the casino about equally, which is just pretty solid. Oh, also, I think the lyric version of this song is just a bit worse than the main version, but not by much. Both the lyrical version of Jazz Rush and the alternate version of End of Everything are just a tad worse than the original, so they won't be ranked. I know I just said how I missed Crescent Megalopolis, but when this is the music that accompanies the replacement realm, I feel just a bit less sad. Like, wow, even though this track doesn't sound quite as good as the tracks for the cancelled realm, I still really love this track. It just sounds really good and specifically crafted for Fever City. I obviously would prefer Crescent Megalopolis, but if we're stuck with this, I'll be just fine. This is far and away the saddest removal in the game for me. This is one of the few tracks that I experienced when it still played in game, and man, listening to it gives so much nostalgia, and just this warm fuzzy feeling that I just don't get from the new Gainy track, even if it is good. Definitely my favorite removed Hypersleep track. I do still think that Fun 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 is the best that they made, but this is just so great. Well, yes, this song is really great, the new version is definitely a lot more polished. It sounds a lot less like it was made using artificial instruments, I guess is my way of putting it. Even still, I prefer the sound of the piano here, but prefer the sound of the wind instrument and the guitar in the new version. Still, this does have the same melody, and it's really good, so in turn, this is a great song. I literally have no clue whether or not this plays in game. Please help in the comments. Still though, this song slaps really hard. Richie cooked so hard with this. It feels perfectly crafted for the area that it was made for and pairs perfectly with the rest of the Shattered Reality Chomic tracks. This song is great, and now that we're in the top 10, we are in banger Spotify playlist worthy tracks. Another track that I can't tell if it plays in game. I do Realmic sometimes, and this track doesn't play, so I don't know if that's because it's just for Realmic or something else. Whatever, this track freaking slaps. It keeps the same techno vibe that Nexus had, and while I don't think it's as good as Nexus, it's still really good. And my only other complaint is that maybe it doesn't fit Recollection amazingly. It's not that intense of an area as far as I can tell. I don't have Atomic 500, so don't judge. And it's just an obby, so maybe something a bit more chill would be better, but this song would still be great if it played here. It's hard to argue with this song being bad. While being a bit on the repetitive side, it changes things up enough to still have you bop into it. Like, wow, this song gets stuck in your head. And the part around the 1 minute mark is just heavenly. While not my favorite Crescent Megalopolis song, it is a fantastic one. Oh, also the ending melody is very solid. I was about to not rank this and Finder's Funeral. I am so glad I ranked them now though. They both placed extremely high, and the only reason I was about to not rank them was because I just couldn't find them, until I looked them up on SoundCloud, and here they are. If I'm not mistaken, this is meant to play for Chomik 999, so I'll have to wait a bit for it. It doesn't really sound like a track that would fit Find the Chomiks, but it seems to be community made, so I guess that makes a bit of sense. Still though, it sounds really nice. It contains 4 mini songs due to this obviously being a mix of songs, so let's do a mini ranking of them all. 4th place, the last song, but it's pretty nice and short. The piano does sound nice, but it can get a bit repetitive. Still solid. The second song is also very relaxing, but it just sounds nicer than the last song. More like a lullaby, if you will. And I like that approach a bit more. The third song is really cool and intense, and I'd say it leans more to a random GD song, and I love me a good GD song. And this kind of slaps hard, so this would have taken number 1 if it weren't for... The first song is really chill in a good way, and the main reason it ranks this high is because of the sax at the end and the centerpiece leitmotif near the middle. They make the song sound really good. Alright, I've proven that the reason this plays so high was because of the variety in the mini tracks. Still though, as a whole, this song slaps. Wow, both SoundCloud tracks here back to back. Interesting. Still, this song, despite being a bit repetitive, never loses its energy, and said energy is very high. This track starts with a slow beginning, leading you to the very energetic song throughout, that does add a small little melodic bits, as to not make this 5 minutes of the same measures repeating. Wow, this feels like it would be so intense if played in game. Cannot wait for Chomik 999. We are officially in the top 5 tracks, and we are starting off with a song that I believe is better than the current version. Search All You Want current version is very good, but I just like the old one better. I can't really explain it very well. It's just a feeling I get from this that I don't get from the new one as much. This track is just the whole package. Very memorable, fits the area perfectly, and sounds ethereal. I mean, technically this does play in game, just not exactly, because the songs are in this order for Frost Monarch boss fight, but they aren't perfectly timed like this is, so I'm ranking it here. Yeah, the Frost Monarch boss fight theme is nearly perfect, and Noctilus cooked. Not much more to say here. I guess it could be a bit longer, but that is a minor nitpick, because this song is still a masterpiece. We are in the top 3 now, and I'm gonna be honest and say that this track is better than Goofy, and that's like a top 5 in the game track. So 3 songs are better than Goofy in my opinion from this list, which makes me really antsy that these aren't in game. I guess it's time to talk about the song now. Yeah, it's a banger. I think listening to just 10 seconds is all you need to know. I don't know where this sort of played, but I honestly don't really care because it's just so much fun to listen to. I was back and forth on whether or not this would be number 2 or 3, but it barely got beat out by... Yeah, this is why I miss Crescent Megalopolis so bad. This track right here, that's the big reason. Because this would not be top 5 if it was in the game. This is top 3 material. Yep. Let's look at the 4 parts of this that make it so good. The main backbeat is already a banger and sets the mood perfectly for this area. Then the melodic part comes in really smoothly and makes you feel really cool listening to it. Until it suddenly gets quieter when the pre-drop hits, and it's honestly the best build-up in the OST because when it's done building up, it comes out with a fiery hot tune that the cooker made just for us simple players. I am extremely happy that this fantastic track plays on Spotify. Thank you so much. This track is actually perfect, but even still, 1 track, or technically 2, are even more perfect than this. Because yeah, the top spot has an alternate version not on this list, so I won't rank it, but even still, it's better than this. Now, what could possibly top Peak? Gonna be honest, it wasn't even that close. Twilight Saga by the Wayside is a near perfect track that would easily make the list to my favorite music pieces ever. End of Everything may be my favorite piece of media this world has to offer. I'm only kind of joking, by the way. I have no idea how much the Find the Chomix devs paid you to make this Yui up, but you went from making solid tracks that fit the area they played in nicely, to a track that surpasses the effort used to make the freaking Coliseum. I know that was a terrible analogy, but I want to make my point clear that this track excels in everything it goes for way beyond my tiny brain's comprehension. The main melody is flawless and the song is always changing so it never gets repetitive, which I will admit is a problem many of his other songs may suffer from, but even still, put all his strengths together to cook up this masterpiece of sound that doesn't even play in game yet, that only has about 15,000 listens. Every bit of this song screams masterpiece, and it never gets boring or tedious. It's always moving and doing something different. And the ending, man. When I say this is my favorite piece of media, that means that its beginning and ending is perfect in every way. The ending of this song ends on the most perfect high note that is probably easy to play, but really hard to fit into a song finisher. But this man did it. He crafted the perfect track that has nothing against it except for the fact that it doesn't even play in game yet. Just a piece of art that will, in my very humble opinion, never be surpassed so long as this song exists. I want to thank you all so much for making it this far into the video. This is genuinely a passion project that I really wanted to happen, and it did. I never thought anyone would watch through the whole video and see this point, but if you are, you're a freaking legend if you made it here with no breaks. I will upload more frequently, I hope, and please subscribe to see more stuff like this because I will not stop at these tracks, believe me. And comment if you want to share your thoughts on the soundtrack. Alright, that's all from me, but just remember to stay tipped.